Our next example is very similar to the previous. We're given the point P is 5, comma, negative 1, and we're asked to find the values of the 6 trigonometric functions. So perhaps a good thing to do here is just pause the video now, see if you can work through this, and then when you're finished, you can start the video again and we see if my solution, see if I can match what you did. So go ahead and pause now if you like. All right, so let's see if I can correctly get what you had. First, a little picture is not the worst thing in the world. It's not, strictly speaking, required, but it might not hurt. One of the things that I always liked about trigonometry as a student, way back in, was that you could always draw a picture. Almost always you could draw a picture of what was happening in the trigonometry. So here's the coordinate system, and we're at 5, comma, negative 1. So this is 5, this is negative 1. And you don't need much more accurate than that. You don't need to have all of the things scaled out. 5, comma, negative 1. So this value x is 5, y is negative 1. We need to compute r. So we know r is equal to x squared plus y squared. We know that's equal to 5 squared plus negative 1 squared. Let's cut this to the chase scene. 25 plus 1 is 26. And so that implies that r, try that again, r is equal to, we want either the plus or positive or negative square root, but remember we're going to choose the positive square root of 26. When you're doing this work here, do not change this to a decimal. Do not change this to a decimal. Yes, if you want, later on, for some reason later on, 10 years from now, you want the square root of 26, then that's wonderful. The square root of 26 is 5.099 something, whatever, that's wonderful. But for now, leave your answer here. This is, anytime you're asked to give exact values, that phrase, exact value, that will happen over and over and over and over again, not just in this course, but in many courses to come. You will be asked to leave your answer as exact values. Express your result using exact values. If you get a decimal approximation to this, that is not an exact value. If you round this to 27 decimal places, that is not an exact value. Exact value means leave it like this. Do not express it as a decimal. In fact, if you are asked to express your answers using exact values, and if you use decimal approximations, that is not what you've been asked to do. You've done something else entirely, and you are not going to get credit for that. So, exact values, just write this as if it were square root 26, as if it were a number, because that's all it is. So, all you need to do is this. Sine theta is equal to, what do we know? We know that's y over r. If you want, you can write the y over r. If you want, you may omit this. I will go ahead and put y over r just to review it, just to make sure we're all sort of plowing this ground one more time. Y is equal to negative 1. R is equal to the square root of 26. And this is the compromise I make with you. Leave your answer as square root 26. But you do not. You do not need to simplify this. I know there are some instructors that if you left this as negative 1 over a square root of 26, they would have a conniption. For our purposes, for now, leave this alone. Just let it sit. If you want to change the form, that's wonderful, but you're not getting more points. You're just burning time. So, leave your answer. You may leave your answer as negative 1 over the square root of 26. And then the rest of these follow very similarly. Cosine theta is x over r. X is given to be 5 over the square root of 26. Leave it alone. Just let it sit there. Tangent. Tangent is y over r. Tangent is y over x. Sorry, the chalk has gone bad. Y over x, and that's negative 1 over 5. Doesn't matter if the negative is out front or in the numerator, just as long as it's negative. And if all you're asked to do is find the values of the 6 functions, I'm okay with doing this. Just form the reciprocal. Just make the reciprocal. The reciprocal is negative 5 over 1. And as far as I'm concerned, you can leave it over 1. If you want to write this as negative 5, that's wonderful. If you want to write it as negative 5 over 1, that's wonderful. So if you want to leave the 1 in the denominator, that's okay. You do not need to simplify your result unless you are explicitly told that you need to simplify your result. All right, so what's next is secant. Secant is the reciprocal here, so just form the reciprocal of the fraction. And cosecant is the reciprocal here, so that's negative 1 over, try that again. The reciprocal is what I want. I want square root of 26 over negative 1. That's fine. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You do not need to simplify this or change the form in any way, shape, or form, but you do need to leave your answers as exact values. So there we have it. So for the p is equal to 5, comma, negative 1, you find the value for r. We said r was equal to the square root of 26. And then find the x, y, r definitions for all those functions.